Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into Awesome Sunday Show. Before we get started, we'd like to tell you where you can find us.
You can find all of our episodes, including new content like blogs and guest blogs, on our newly launched website, awesomesundayshow.com.
Woohoo!
Our podcast is also available on iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, Stitcher, TuneIn, and YouTube. You can find all those links also on awesomesundayshow.com.
You can also follow us on our social media accounts, twitter.com/awesomesunshow, facebook.com/awesomesundayshow, and instagram.com/awesomesundayshow.
Thanks for tuning in and enjoy the show.
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows like the one you're about to enjoy, visit electronicmediacollective.com. And now, our feature presentation.
Hey everybody, welcome to Awesome Sunday Show. Connor here.
And Pat?
Pat, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Doing good. It's you know what? It's 11:36 at night. It's March 14th. Happy birthday, Dan Crane. But you know, I'm wide awake. I pretty much just slept all day. It was fantastic.
I did a lot of sleeping, applied for some jobs, played some BioShock 1.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
I played some Breath of the Wild today. I hit the gym. I was at the gym for 2 hours today, this morning.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I felt great. I'm gonna look better than Snyder in the summer.
Yeah, but you don't got sick flow or sick beard.
Nah, I don't need a sick beard. He's got sick flow, but I don't need a sick beard.
You can't grow one.
No, I can't. I can grow a mean goatee, kind of.
You can grow taint hair on your face.
This is why I have issues. All right. So anyway, before we get started, we have a very special episode with a very special guest tonight. Don't introduce yourself yet, you motherfucker. Yeah, that's right. You heard
Don't
me.
talk to my guest like that.
Hey, I invited him.
He's my guest too.
He's by far the sexiest guest we've ever had.
I think so.
So we won't keep you in anticipation any longer. We're just gonna shout out a few sponsors, and then we'll go on with the episode. Pat, do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I'll let you go first.
All right, cool. Today's show is brought to you by Vinyl Me Please. Join their Record of the Month Club at www.joinvmp.com/awesome. Pat, did you ever hear of Vinyl Me Please?
I have, because they are kind enough to sponsor our show.
Yeah, they are kind enough to sponsor
What
the
I
show.
have heard is they're the best damn Record of the Month club you can find.
Damn right. So they celebrate one incredible vinyl record of the month and send you an exclusive pressing of it right to your door. They'll also include an original 12x12 album-inspired art print and a paired cocktail recipe to sweeten the deal even more. You know, while you're listening to a nice vinyl record that they send you every month, you get a nice little cocktail you can drink, and it's a surprise. Get a little recipe, have a little cocktail with your music. Nothing better than that, right, Pat?
Definitely.
So the special edition records you can't get anywhere else. And when they say special edition, they're not messing around. They work closely with both the label and the artist to come up with something you actually can't find anywhere else. So there's a lot of exclusivity to it, which is amazing. They're talking colored vinyl, custom lyric books, etc., etc. And about the membership, it's flexible and easy memberships that work for you. There are no contracts, no strings, and no guilt trips. You can really cancel anytime. There's no hidden fees either. They're okay with that. They don't like hidden fees because
nobody likes hidden fees.
Nobody, yeah. And you know what's great is when a company doesn't like hidden fees as well. They're not a bank, all right? Fucking banks. Top shelf customer service to make sure that you also get the answers and help that you need as soon as humanly possible. So, again, if you want to join the best damn record of the month club, go to www.joinvmp.com/awesome to be a part of Vinyl Me Please.
Great. Thank you, Vinyl Me Please. This episode is also brought to you by Gamefly. For our Awesome Sunday Show listeners, Gamefly is offering a free premium 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. And all you have to do is go to gameflyoffer.com/awesome. Now, why should you choose Gamefly? They have over 8,000 new releases and classics available to rent for Xbox One, 360, PS4, even your handhelds like 3DS. As the Switch games rolling out, they're going to get them. And you know what? A game that I'm looking forward to is coming out, Mass Effect Andromeda. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. Why not go to Gamefly for that? Get a free 30-day trial. You play that game for free. You like the service, you keep it. Why should you sign up? Convenience. They ship directly to your door. They even send in a pre-addressed envelope for easy returns. No contracts, cancel any times. You can even get movies free with your plan.
And I also heard that if a game releases on that day, it can ship to your house that day.
Yeah, they promise that it'll be there on that day.
That's pretty cool.
So Mass Effect comes out March 21st. Guess what? You do GameFi, you got the game that day.
And the movies are enticing as well because nothing, you can play video games for hours and hours, but there's nothing like a good movie.
Right. And, cancel any time. Not that you would want to. They offer 2 plans. They got a 1-disc plan, $15.95, 2-disc plan for $22.95. And you beat one game, you don't like it, you just send it right back. They send you a new one. They send you a new one, no questions asked. And listen, you're going to save a lot of money by doing GameFi. You get one game, it's about $60. Say you buy 3 games a year. It's a lot of dough. GameFi is much cheaper, and you can play as many games as you want. You can even stream games, which, everybody loves streaming these days. That's a great deal, And all you have to do is go to GameFlyOffer.com/awesome to get a free 30-day trial, test out this awesome service. That's GameFlyOffer.com/awesome. Thank you, GameFly, for sponsoring us today.
Yeah, and thank you again, Vinyl Me, please.
Now, Mr. Special Guest, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. It's Cassidy. Been here before. Glad to be back. Thank you guys for having me on again. I'm stoked.
Well,
as
thank you
always.
for being here.
Yeah. Thank you so
My
much.
chair is making a lot of fart sounds over here.
Are you sure it's just not your ass?
Yeah, it'd be much louder.
A lot smellier, too.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, nothing like a smelly fart, right, guys?
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone loves their own brand.
I know. I'm sorry, but
brand.
I don't care I don't care if you're 5
Yeah.
or 75.
Yeah.
Like when you fart and someone is like is unpleased by that smell, it's the funniest fucking thing in the world.
Oh, farts will always be funny.
Yeah.
Farts are never not funny.
It's a joke that will never run out. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Farts. Anyway, speaking of farts.
Today's show is brought to you by farts.
Yeah. Fart on my face, please. fart of the month club.
Part of the month club.
Yeah. All right. So today, guys, we're going to be talking about a little show on FX.
Yes.
What
is that show?
I think it's called Legion.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah, it's the first live-action X-Men show.
Yeah.
And
That takes place in the X-Men universe, supposedly.
I don't know, because depending on what interview you listened to or read, it kind of gave different answers. It's attached to it. It's not. It's kind of just there. Who really knows?
I think they're probably just waiting to see how the success of the show, probably, most likely.
I want it to be separate. I think it will do better to be separate, especially, if they want to really fit into the convoluted X-Men timeline. And given how the nature of the show is, which we'll get into, it could change itself any which way at any moment.
Yeah, I definitely think it should stand on its own.
Especially because most of the episodes so far, you don't know where they
Yeah, you
are,
have no clue what's going
when
on.
they
Yeah.
are, what's happening.
I think if they alluded to small things, I'd be okay with that. But as far as to go as deep as this is, a straightforward, this is at this point, I don't think they should do that. I think they should kind of keep it its own little entity, its own little weirdness. I just think the show would benefit better off with that. I think they could have a lot more to mold around it.
If it was just by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, they could allude to small things. You know what I mean? I think would be pretty cool. But for the most part, I think they should kind of just keep it its own thing.
Yeah, keep it in its own little bubble.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's just so much more they can do around with it.
I do know that with the X-Men show that's going to be on Fox called Gifted, it's not going to connect with that at all, which I think is a good idea.
Yeah, it's definitely a good idea.
Especially because you can't really trust Fox.
Yeah.
No, you can't at all. No way.
Even though FX and Fox are different companies, they're just owned by the same parent company. A lot
Right.
of people get that confused.
A lot of people don't understand when it comes to like just big business in general. Like when how parent companies are in control. Like if you see Sony owns the rights to the Spider-Man movies. But so if you see a Sony TV in a Best Buy and they're playing Spider-Man, you think it's of course it's just natural. But actually, the Sony manufacturing TV brands has to pay like TriStar Columbia or wherever the Sony Pictures is for that because they're two different companies technically, even though they're under one roof.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Adult Swim and Comedy Central. They just share the same channel, right? But
Or you mean Cartoon Network?
Cartoon Network, that's what it is.
Yeah.
They share the same channel, but they're
Yeah,
completely
same-
different.
But it's still
Same
Turner.
channel number.
Yeah.
It's still
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, Legion, which just premiered February 8th. This week will be, actually tonight, when this is going up, the 6th episode will premiere. But Connor has only watched 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I've
Cass is
seen
not.
4. Yeah,
You're almost done with 4.
I'm almost done with 4. It's 3.5.
I'm all caught up on 5, so we're only gonna be talking about the first 3 episodes.
Yeah. We'll do like a finale
Yeah.
episode like after and talk about the rest of the
Because
series.
how many? They said 8, right? They're
8
doing
episodes
this
this
first season.
season.
Okay, good.
Hasn't been confirmed for a second season, but this show is a huge hit, and I guarantee that it's gonna get.
I can't see how
Second
it could.
season. Plus,
I really can't.
It was created and is run by Noah Hawley, who created and wrote and directed a lot of the wonderful Fargo TV adaptation,
Yes.
which received tons of award nominations.
And I really can't remember the last FX show that kind of went a season and then got cut off. So I think it's going to pick up.
Right. You know, that's what I like about FX. Like, if a show is doing well, like, both critically and fan-wise, even though it's not getting massive ratings, they'll keep it around for a while.
Yeah, which is good.
Like there apparently like it's actually like really like the environment over at FX is like really nice. Like when Louis just stopped doing his show, like I'm pretty sure he said it was either on Mark Maron or somewhere else. He's like I can just go back and do whatever I want. There
Yeah,
was no-
I read that too. It was kind of like
he was disappointed. They
It's
were
the
just
Kurt
like
deal.
yeah, like they're disappointed, but they understand that the freedom of the artist is more important.
Right.
than-
And, like, Louis did that internet show.
and they were
Force
totally
and
cool
Heat.
with that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, at first he was like really disappointed. The president of FX, I forget his name, was disappointed that Louis didn't like pitch it to them. And he goes,
Yeah.
I just wanted to do this myself. He goes, okay, the only thing I ask is just, just come back to us whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a great deal. FX does allow for a lot of freedom. Which
I
is
have
great.
been meaning to get around to Baskets. I want to watch.
I
That
heard
show.
that's great. I
heard
haven't
it's
seen
really
it.
good.
And Noah Hawley is like right now the golden child
Yeah.
of FX.
Mhm.
Because Fargo is a massive hit both seasons,
Mhm.
and so far this is a huge hit, and he's got like a huge deal with them to just do everything. And honestly, this guy deserves the keys to it.
Oh, for real?
He's
After watching this,
Knocking it
I mean,
out of the park. Trust me,
Yeah.
if you haven't watched Fargo either, well, I hope you have seen the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, see the movie. But
the
you
movie is absolutely insane.
Yeah,
like,
You
it's
could
just
watch-
so good.
you
Yeah.
can watch the show without having seen the movie.
But it helps.
But
I've heard.
it makes it better.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
the Fargo show is absolutely phenomenal. It comes back soon, and Ewan McGregor is going to be starring in it, and he's playing twin brothers. And I'm really looking forward to that. But yes, Legion, created by Noah Hawley, stars Dan Stevens as David Haller, a.k.a. Legion. Rachel Keller, who's on the last season of Fargo, as Sid Barrett. Aubrey Plaza as Lenny Busker. Bill Irwin as Carrie Loudermilk. Jeremy Harris as Patonomy Wallace. Amber Midthunder as Carrie Loudermilk. Katie Asselton as David's sister Amy Haller, and Jean Smart as Melanie Bird, who was also in the last season of Fargo. So a little bit of background about Legion. He is, in the comics, he's the son of Professor X. He's an Omega level mutant. He has schizophrenia. But
he also has DID. Technically, he has multiple personalities.
It's actually it's more dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah.
Because what was really in the show, they acknowledge like you're not schizophrenic, it's your powers.
Mm-hmm.
In the comics, what was presumed as a schizophrenia is really different personas, and which also hold different powers. Each persona holds different powers.
Yeah,
At
one
one
has
point,
pyrokinesis, the other one has telekinesis. It's like a bunch of different-
it's like all different sorts of powers that he was able to pretty much just command at any will. And like I'm looking at on his wiki right now, and at one point there's well over 1,000.
Wow.
He's had them, whether they were all at once or throughout his lifetime. It's well over 1,000. And like just himself, he's an incredibly powerful telepath, and incredibly powerful with telekinesis. And his Professor X's father is said to have the most powerful mind, but it can be said that David is more powerful, even without the other personalities in there that control other powers. which would make him the strongest there is. Like even just himself is like insanely powerful.
Which is cool because like there's mutants with already multiple powers. You know, like when X-Men first came around, it was kind of like one mutant, one power, like it's their gift, you know. And then like they got like super creative, like, you know, just look at the most popular mutant, Wolverine. He not only does he have an accelerating healing factor, but he also I guess not aging would be one of them.
Well, that's because of his healing factor.
I guess it's because, but also the bone claws too.
The bone claws are part of his mutation, and then he didn't age because when he got the adamantium implanted on his skeleton, it would no longer grow or decay. He
also has like canine sniffing abilities too. Like he has
animal senses, more or less. But David Haller is I think he was a bastard of Professor X's and was put up for adoption and did not know about Professor X for a while. Neither of them knew about each other.
No,
and then later on, David did not have the greatest life. As usual, it's like a common thing. But he exhibited powers at a really young age and then started exhibiting what everyone thought was schizophrenia.
Yeah. When he was originally conceived, they wanted him to be a part of the X Factor. And but like they were
not the Simon Cowell competition show.
No. that like the original conception was like they wanted like a telepath on there. But forgive me for not remembering the names, but the creators behind that comic were like, it's already kind of like you already have the reader's suspension of disbelief that you have like these people that are just born with powers and a team together. He goes, now you have to have someone who like shouldn't even be leaving a mental hospital with multiple powers on that same team. Like, didn't make sense. So I kind of agree with that. Now he's he's essentially like kind of like an anti-hero villain within the comics.
He causes a ton of problems, not sometimes by his own control, sometimes by accident. He's also able to manipulate time, which we kind of see in the show, because you don't know when the show is taking place. It's constantly cutting back and forth, and then they show that even in his memories, he's able to manipulate his memories.
Well, I still think the show, I'm only on episode 3, but I think the show's in the 70s because, like, look at how everybody dresses, and no one whips out a cell phone at all.
See, I disagree. I think it's close to modern time. Whether it's the 2010s or earlier, I think it's close to modern time. Because there is some advanced tech in there.
Yeah, but
it's just, they're trying to ground the world or separate it show it's really separate from our real world.
But here's the thing, though. But remember,
there is a lot of retroism to it, though.
But remember in X-Men First Class, like they have like ships that are just flying, and that takes place in the 60s. Like,
no, I know, but I think it's closer to modern day than you think. There's just a lot of retrofuturism to it, which is part of the aesthetic of the show, like trying to set itself apart.
Yeah, it's just weird, like that. Literally, no one whips out like an iPhone or anything.
Well, to be fair, the group that David is with is trying to stay off the grid so that Division 3 doesn't come after
But even
them.
when they're in the public eye, or is there even like a high def TV in any shot in that show? Maybe
nobody's watching TV in the show. Well, I mean, they were
even at the mental hospital.
There was TV there, but it's and
because like
at the same time, this show it's of the perspective from David, who is clearly an unreliable narrator.
Right.
So that's why there's a blend of different
I think we'll
styles of eras in there.
I think we'll find out more by the end of the show. I think it would be cool if it was modern times and like it just like the like just his because of his power through like time manipulation just like affects.
Well, that's
like,
what I think, and like from what he also wants, and I wish you guys have caught up to episode 5 because there's some points that I would make to further reinforce that, but it would spoil those episodes, and I don't want to do that because they're insane. But I think that it has a lot of retrofuturism, kind of like how Fallout does and how Earth 2 in The Flash did. And I think the unreliable narrator aspect is playing a huge part in that.
Okay.
But there is a lot of 70s vibes to it for sure.
Yeah, huge.
The music.
Yeah, and especially this one scene in episode 4, which is trapped in it's in this enclosure that's kind of in the 60s with this character from the 60s who's in the astral plane, which gets really explored in that episode, in episode 5. But I think that this show it's the way it's telling its story, its look, it's the way it's shot, its music. I mean, and it is just completely like unique. There's nothing like it on television right now.
Yeah, I'd say that first episode was a pilot that in a very long time, I'd say since Breaking Bad, that I was like, I need to keep watching this show.
It immediately blew me away.
I mean, it was a blend of like all my favorite directors and just the aesthetic and how that feeling of I don't know what's going on, but I'm okay with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just having so many pieces to a puzzle just scattered everywhere. And you're like, I need to connect all these dots. I need to keep watching this. And I mean, just that whole fact of whether, I really like how this show plays out, how David himself even thinks like, am I really crazy? Like, why do these people actually believe that I have powers? And that show really does censor off like his main thoughts of just this scattered
Right. And like even
show.
when he gets rescued by Sid at the end, he goes, I need to know, is this real? Is this really
like
happening?
him himself doesn't even
Because
still
he
believe
doesn't know.
it. Yeah.
Like he is so unsure, and he doesn't know that he has powers up to that point. And even then, he just thinks he's seeing things because of his schizophrenia or what he was diagnosed with as schizophrenia. So he's unsure of anything that's happening. And then when he experiences him and Sid changing bodies, he wasn't sure if that was real at first or not, and then he comes to find out it's real, and just all these things are like blowing his mind. But then the surrealism of the show is like at the forefront, and like in its first episode, it had that huge dance number in the mental hospital.
I know, it was insane. Yeah,
that was like with so many cuts that was changing every extra in the background too, and shifting it like into just this.
I got
the
camera work on this is literally unreal. Like the editing and the shot for shot, how things blend into each other. It's beautiful. It really is. That first episode is something else. I watched it. I've seen it twice already. I'll probably revisit it again because it's just so good.
Out there, man.
It really is.
Yeah.
Honestly, it
was the most unique pilot I've ever seen.
Oh, easy. And I know FX doesn't really bleed for commercials, but I truly, because I watched that on Hulu, so having that go in one continuous flow was awesome. Was so good. I don't know. I'd love to see this like as a miniseries, with like no cut breaks or anything, because it flows just so well.
Yeah,
especially that first episode. It's just like,
you
need to see that like completely through.
If you're not streaming it through other means, currently, once it's on Netflix or on Hulu, and you could binge it, it'll just flow. But even then, even with the flow, it's just you don't know where you are.
No, you don't at all. Yeah, absolutely at all.
It's just, and I think that's one of the best parts about it is it'll answer one thing, but then it'll give you 1 million questions with that one answer, and you're just like, what is going on?
You said it great though too when we just finished watching the third episode. Was it takes one step forward and like 90 back?
Oh, easily.
Yeah,
because like you get this little tidbit about something. And then there's just so many questions just surrounding everything, and you want to connect all these dots. And it's a show that like I'm okay being like happily frustrated about how they're not telling me things, but
I'm
showing me
enjoying it.
things. I really am. Yeah, like I'm left with so many questions, but it's fun because I think the show is extremely smart, and you can tell they have plans for almost everything.
Yeah,
things are not just put into place to be artsy
right.
or weird.
Yeah,
right.
Every little
there's full
thing has a
intention
meaning.
behind it.
There has to be.
Like-
Easily has to be.
like that fucking blob-looking motherfucker.
Yeah, the devil with the yellow eyes.
The devil with the yellow eyes.
I am so
Curious.
I cannot wrap my brain around what that could be.
I
know Pat said it is a theory.
have a theory. It seems to be pretty common. There's
Okay.
there's two prevailing ones.
I want to hear this. Yeah.
One is that it's Mojo, who is this yellow blob-like creature with like metallic legs. That's part of the Mojo verse, like its own universe within the comics.
Okay.
It's like an offshoot of the multiverse.
Okay.
And it's just, if you look at a picture of it, like it's got the yellow eyes, it's got the blob look about it.
That does look really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Is he just like his own kind of like mutant entity, or is he
he's
like
not
evil,
even
bad?
He's
kinda,
evil.
Okay. Yeah.
But he's not really part of the X-Men lore. Really, he has not had much to do with David, especially.
Okay.
And like he's just part of this.
Do you think maybe it's like
spineless
a premonition? Like he's seeing what's to come, and he's like he knows it subconsciously. Maybe.
No, I think that it's like he's in his brain, like parasitically.
Oh,
like,
he's
acting as a
somewhere in
parasite.
one of his
whether-
cavities in his head. Okay. That's
and then the other major theory, which I think is the most likely one, is that it's the Shadow King, who is a prominent villain of Professor X. And
Okay.
the Shadow King is born of a nightmare. Like he was born of the first night.
It makes a lot
from
of
the
sense.
first nightmare.
Yeah.
He's pure psionic energy, and he feeds on hatred of humanity, and he manifests himself by possessing bodies.
I mean, it would make sense that something could easily slip into his subconscious and like
And
torment
his
him.
powers are telepathy
Yeah.
and possession.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see if I can bring it. Although the
I
look is a little different, it's like the look of this character is a combination of the Mojo
Okay.
and Shadow King
Okay.
in terms of what's on TV right now.
Uh-huh.
It could be a mixture of both.
It could be. And he has had, it would make a
Yeah,
lot
that
more
doesn't-
sense
yeah.
for Shadow King
It would.
to interrupt it, given
Yeah.
how, like, his history with Professor X.
You know, and I would absolutely love that. I would love a prominent villain that they're not telling
you
us
won't see
about?
in the movies. And,
Well,
like,
that's what I
he's
mean.
out there, too, which I think is a really good choice.
Oh my god!
Um,
and now that I think about that so hard, I mean that would be absolutely like perfect because we have these base episodes on whether or not we're figuring out David's real power or if he's like literally insane. Which I mean, I think we can all agree on that he has powers. I mean, he has powers that he's unknown of.
Right.
But himself coming to realize like,
Is he
I'm
crazy or not?
I'm not crazy. Maybe I really am. Maybe I'm not. And having this, villain kind of being, preluded, every so often that he's just been, existentially having penetrate himself. I think that would just be, genius. Because this first season, I'd be totally okay with them just working on David. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
And then the last episode, or maybe even the start of next, season, having this like prominent, now other people are seeing this devil with the yellow eyes, and now they're like, "Whoa, that's actually
within his mind." And even Sid, when she swapped his body, saw him at the mental hospital, and that's what led to her freaking out and then enclosing all the people in walls
Yeah, that's great.
and killing Lenny,
That's really
who
good.
still exists in David's mind, which obviously as more so than a memory.
Yeah.
It's
Because
more of a hallucination.
David's mind is obviously much more powerful than the characters in the show
easily,
anticipated.
yeah.
So, like, I think like a physical manifestation is not out of the realm of possibility because his mind is almost just as real as his reality.
Oh,
Right,
exactly.
and like the Shadow King exists as an astral form and a physical form, and when he wants to get into a physical form, he can possess even the most powerful minds, such as Psylocke, who is like an alpha to omega level psionic abilities, and he anchors onto them and he possesses them and he lives deep within inside him. That's why I think that's who the devil with the yellow eyes might be.
That would make sense because
Just
in the
altered look of him.
the episode we just watched, where they're inside his head trying to reclaim these memories, but things are changing. Memories are changing within his mind. That could be another great, part that his own brain doesn't even trust his
Right.
own real events.
I think that the Shadow King is
That's
call him the
great.
devil is certainly manipulating his memories, especially when
Confusing
the
him
others
more,
are in
yeah.
it, because he wants to protect himself and get them to leave David because they're interfering with his possession over David.
I think this show reminds me of
Yeah, I think that's a huge. I agree
That's
with
what's
that.
happening,
Yeah.
and the way he's keeping David in check by constantly bringing fear into him, and it seems that he started to do it when he was a little kid, when,
not just fear but doubt as well.
and doubt, yes,
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah, definitely.
And it seemed to have started when he was a little kid. We don't know when this Devil with the Yellow Eyes came
Yeah.
into play, but I think it started when he was a little kid when they were reading that book,
bedtime story. Yeah.
The World's Angriest Boy in the World,
Mm-hmm.
that crazy children's book about murdering a mom,
And then
his
burning
own
the whole
mom,
town, yeah.
and how that character, when he came to life with that big paper mache head, terrified David when he was little, and I
Yeah.
think that's when the Shadow King first got into his mind,
Yeah.
but did not show his actual form until David got older.
I think Connor said it best too. We were talking about that episode and how that child from that book keeps torturing him, and how amazing, how like cool that is that he's like an actual human with like a human paper mache head, and you know, like Connor said, like it's tangible, it's there, you know, it's there, it's chasing him. Like, I mean,
There is a lot of practicality to the effects that you're doing.
I
Even
actually
in
heard-
the scene where all this shit is shooting out in the
I
kitchen.
heard that was real, right?
Yes.
That's wild.
Yeah.
The only thing I do have a gripe with, which I know Heather and I watched the first episode, which she kind of had a problem with too, is when they escape and like kind of how cheesy those like last effects were when he was like throwing the guy off the building.
Oh,
and
it
the
was
rock.
super
Yeah.
cheesy, but it's a pilot.
Well, not only that, but it's a basic, or it's like a basic cable almost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think they put so much work into everything else that they could have, you know, just manipulated it
And
a
the guy
little bit better.
The guy getting shot, and he's like, ah.
Yeah, oh my God, I know. The last like 3 minutes, I was kind of like, come on, you guys could do a little bit
No,
better
it
than
was,
that.
yeah,
You know
it
what I
was
mean?
a little weak, yeah.
Because you have these amazing visuals and these camera works and everything's blending into each other. The choreograph, the music, I mean, every little thing.
Every detail
And
was...
then you have this
yeah.
cheesy ass rock thrown and a guy thrown off I was kind of like,
A guy shot through the clavicle, and he's just like, yeah. You know? Like, dude,
But
that sucks. Like,
but that's small nitpicking that I'm putting with the show. But I understand how important it was to showcase that, like, when they broke him out, that there's people, you know, that are like him that have abilities. They wanted to showcase that there's other people, you know, out there with these, you know, that there's not just humans in the world. So
Right.
I get it, but I mean, come on.
I hear
Yeah.
ya.
And it's
But it's like The
I'm
Walking
able to
Dead
leave it
season
go.
1. I mean, if you watch those effects season 1 when they, you know, put like a you know, a knife through someone's head, you're kind of like, what the hell is that? And then now their budget's like, you know,
Twice as much.
yeah, it's unreal. Like they can do so much more. So I get it.
The first 2 seasons of Walking Dead are amazing.
Oh, they're so good. I mean, even now it's getting pretty good. I don't know.
No,
I think
fuck that show.
Listen, Walking Dead is like a really bad girlfriend that I keep going back to, and she's like really cool when we hang out, but then when we're not together, she talks shit on me, and I'm just like, I love this show, and I'm like, I hate this show, but I'm so deep into it that you can't walk away, and that's the only thing I'm gonna say about that, because
I
that's a
can't-
different podcast.
Yeah.
Are you still watching Walking Dead, Pat, or no?
fuck no.
No.
I stopped the second episode into the third season.
I stopped after the 4th season. I almost ripped my fucking hair out.
It's pretty good. I don't know. I'm still into it.
4-year ratings low. Definitely earned it.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway, getting back to the show. I mean, they acknowledge that there's a war going on,
Mm-hmm.
and not the mutant versus human war. I mean, it could be because we don't really know what Division 3 is.
Yeah.
And not like the X-Men versus, you know, the Mutant Brotherhood
Yeah.
run by Magneto or
Yeah.
versus you know,
Stryker and his team.
Stryker and his
Weapon
team,
X.
or
Do you guys think that it's like a more of like a rogue kind of like company, or is it like kind of like government, like officials?
I think it's a government shit.
government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was government.
Uh-huh. Kind of like a branch of like some secret service. It's not just like a rogue kind of like head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
like it's like some kind of like warlord, like, you know, superior.
Well, I think that like the Division 3 shows that they're part of a larger organization,
Mhm.
whether it's government or not. I think it seems like it's government because they do have like the men that they have are
Mhm.
definitely more soldiers than mercenaries,
Definitely.
I think. And they have access to some intense like
Mhm.
tech.
I do think that guy with the gray eye, there's something behind him.
I think he has
I think
a
he's
mutant
a mutant.
ability.
Yeah, he has to.
Yep.
Because they keep alluring to him in these weird, you know, he's like carving these things out, and then there was that dog that they kind of kept showing, or whatever it was in that cage.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's got to be some tie with
Yeah.
something.
And then in episode 4 and 5, you do see a little bit more. It does add fuel
Okay.
to that.
Cool.
That fire. But like in episode 3, when David and Sid are in like a projectionist form in the cell where they're holding David's sister.
Yeah.
He's the only one that was able to see him.
Yeah, so there has to be something behind
So there
that.
is something there. I just don't know exactly
I mean,
what
that
it
raises
is.
so much more cooler questions too. Like, is there a government agency that's collecting a few mutants that are using them against them, or?
Well, I think their goal with David is to put him down.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
That
They
is
have
like
to.
their first and foremost goal is to put him down because he's too powerful for anybody to control.
Mm-hmm.
They acknowledge that he's probably the most powerful mutant they've ever
Yeah.
seen. And if this does take, I mean, this has to take place in a world where the X-Men exist.
Yeah,
I'm
it has
assuming.
to. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, there's a fucking window with an X in it. And that
Yeah.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
So like it's really saying something given of how powerful a lot of the mutants of the
Yeah.
X-Men and the Mutant Brotherhood are.
Another thing too about that agency, like that first episode when they kept going from like the hospital, and then when they finally revealed that he was in that one testing room with that guy, and then they like kind of panned out, and it was like this whole like SWAT team agent. Like, was he really in that mental hospital? Now he's in this interrogation room. Was he? Were they
Well, see,
making
that's
him
the thing.
think that?
That's the thing. You don't know what's real and what's not.
I mean,
because
it's
of the
so
unreliable narrator.
Yeah, exactly. Because you don't.
Because-
Was that hospital really real?
Well,
It had
I
to
mean,
be because then you
his
switched
sister went
bodies.
there. Sid was there.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it is, and actually the, whatever, what the hell is the name of that team that they bring him to? Whatever the team that he's with.
Yeah.
Also acknowledges it because they rescued him from the hospital. So the hospital was real.
Yeah.
It's just
The events.
you don't know how
How
the
long
events
or where
went.
he was.
But we do know that Lenny died
Mm-hmm.
because Sid in his body and the oncoming of the yellow devil with the yellow eyes caused her to freak out using his
Powers.
his powers, which he has reality warping. We're able to see that really happened.
Yeah.
His sister knows the hospital was real because she went there.
She visited him.
She
yeah.
visited him, and then
Uh-huh.
when she goes back and they're denying anything of that, that's because of Division 3's work.
Yeah.
And that's how Division 3 finds her and is holding her captive to lure David out. And there's more to it, but in the other 2 episodes. But like all the stuff that's going on in this episode, they're trying to Melanie Bird, the head of Summerland, the group that rescued him, wants to train him to be able to concentrate his powers so they're not so sporadic and cause such huge shifts, like when he teleports the MRI machine outside, or he teleports him and Sid into an astral form. Like they literally, when he's floating and Sid goes in, they literally teleport. You see it opening. It looked like an alien abduction almost. And he puts them in an astral form in the cell with his sister, and then they reappear in the lake. And then when they're going through his memories, like the second time,
Yeah.
he transfers them over 600 yards or something away or 600 feet, one of the two, between buildings.
Mm-hmm.
So they really want that under control because he can kill anyone at any time.
Yeah.
And like Professor X with his seizures in Logan,
Yeah.
it's kind of similar to that because it seems to be involuntary for David.
Yeah, because he doesn't quite understand it. He doesn't believe himself at the moment.
right. But I think that when he does control his powers, I don't know. I don't think the organization that he's with right now. Again, I can't remember the name either. But
It's Summerland.
Summerland. I don't think they know the full extent of what they're dealing with either. So like, I think that
No, because they thought, they're like, oh yeah, he's powerful. Then they got into the dream and they saw that in the memory, and they saw that he was kind of rewriting it at that point, and how he was collapsing it and
Yeah.
blocking. That dude's name, the weird name, Ptolemy or whatever. The guy who's able to project his memories, bring them into their memories. Ptolemy is like, he's blocking him out. Then they're like, he's definitely way more powerful than we anticipated, but they don't know the extent of it.
yeah.
In each episode, they're showing more. They're learning more and more how crazy powerful he is, and
It's just building up, and
it's
like,
just building up, and
I
it's
also-
getting insane.
I sincerely doubt that he's not great. Like, Like they're like, you're not schizophrenic, you're not
Yeah.
crazy. That's this, and they keep putting that. I'm like, no, this dude's he's fucking
No,
crazy,
he's definitely
bro.
messed
Yeah,
up.
he's messed up.
I mean,
But I don't know whether it's because of the of the Shadow King that's doing it to him purposely,
We don't know it's the Shadow King, the devil with the yellow
or the
eyes.
devil with the yellow eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
So we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, even
Yeah.
though that's our prediction.
yeah.
We don't know if it's the devil with the yellow eyes that's making him crazy, or he's crazy and the devil with the yellow eyes is using that craziness. That's what I want to find out.
The devil could be the devil with the yellow eyes could be making him crazy, and whether or not he does have some psychological disorder or not, whether it's schizophrenia or DID, I think throughout the length of him believing he has schizophrenia and seeing the devil with the yellow eyes, dude's definitely got anxiety disorder now.
Yeah.
Like that's definitely a thing.
Oh no, he definitely has. I mean, you don't go your whole life people telling you, the sky is green, and then someone tells you it's blue. You're gonna be like, no, it's green. Like, this guy. I think he truly believes like I am insane. So he's projecting a lot of that onto his own self. I will say though that he definitely has some sort of problems. I mean, he can't believe what's real or not.
Yeah,
And,
but you don't know
It's the
to
fact
what
that-
extent.
Yeah.
It's,
No, I get it.
it's
Yeah.
his own, any sort
His
of
constant
mental
questioning
illness.
is what plays a factor too, and whether
Yeah,
it's not
okay,
whether it's not
yeah.
actual questioning like in the first episode, but like just his like doubts and just like what he perceives in his mind and
Yeah.
what he constantly sees in his visions. It's like that's what I really like about the show, and the actor that plays David is exceptional in order to convey
Yeah,
this.
Dan Stevens.
Yes,
He's also Beast in the new Beauty and the Beast movie.
really.
Mhm.
Huh, really?
He was formerly on Downton Abbey.
Good fact.
I can't wait for Beauty and the Beast. I'm so excited for that.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I'm excited too.
Yeah, I'm really excited. But anyway, back to Legion. That it's his facial expressions that he conveys, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's always like I don't fucking know what's going on,
Yeah.
and it's like it's great, and
Yeah.
it really like, and if you're watching it, like it plays into the viewers' expectations and like and what they
And you don't know
what
what's
they
going on, just
perceive.
like him.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing. Like it's such a good show, and it's a visual show, and like that's
Extreme.
It
Yeah.
only, and I promise you to, Cash, you're a little further ahead, but it only gets crazier. And for anybody who's not
Easily.
caught up to where we are, it only gets crazier. Episode 5 is one of the most insane hours of television I've ever seen. It literally, that episode took out its dick and shoved it right through my mind and fucked the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And it was a wonderful experience.
I'm so excited.
And I watched it twice, and I still don't know what the fuck happened. And it blew my mind again the second time.
Yeah.
Did you blow your load? Your mind load,
Dude, I was too worn out from it to do it.
Yeah, take a shower.
But like, it's
Have a cup of
honestly,
coffee.
and it was. This show it's got humor, it's got beautiful aesthetics and music.
Oh my
The
God.
acting is phenomenal. The pacing is wonderful, and then just the way it messes with your brain, you almost start to feel like David, like you're
Yeah,
like, I don't
you don't know
understand
what's
what's
going
real
on.
and what's not. For all we know, this could take place entirely in his head. This whole situation.
It's
Could be
funny.
a delusion.
It's funny. Heather actually joked that she was like, "Imagine he just like wakes up in the mental hospital,
Yeah.
and he's just like getting handed pills or something." She's like, "How shitty, but like funny would that be?"
And you know what? It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility.
No, it wouldn't
because
at all,
of his
yeah.
mental illness.
Exactly.
Or like we don't know what events are and did actually happen, and
Yeah.
what was created, what was implanted in his mind by the devil with the yellow eyes, what was manipulated by the devil with the yellow eyes, and just what effect his reality warping powers have taken on his life and those around him.
Yeah.
I saw this one theory that Sid is actually a creation of his mind that was brought to life. Like it was created in his mind and it was brought to life like out of an astral plane or something.
That's a good theory because
Because he wanted
she only came in the picture like
into the mental hospital.
Yeah.
And then like he's been able to do that in the comics more or less, and like she could have been created because he wanted somebody to fit with him
Like the
more
mold,
than
yeah.
Lenny could. Played brilliantly by Aubrey Plaza, and someone who is more damaged like him, because Sid can't even have physical contact because she swaps bodies. And I made this comparison to Connor before. She's like Rogue because when she switches bodies, she gets access to their powers, except her powers don't drain the life out of people. They just parent trap.
yeah.
or
Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday.
Lindsay Lohan, you're close.
Yeah.
Yeah, same difference.
I think I don't know. My theory is that actually David is in an adult form of Ralphie from A Christmas Story, and the devil with the yellow eyes is Farkas coming back
I like that theory, man.
and tormenting him for beating him up.
If that was what really happened, that would be the greatest twist in history.
The greatest Rickroll ever.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
I would fucking, I'd laugh my ass off. I would tell everybody. I'd be like, it's the greatest show ever.
Yeah.
I hope that really doesn't happen. But like,
But you never know. Nothing's out of the realm of possibility here.
Anything can happen.
It's just there's just so many answers, so many questions. Just like I can't stop praising this show enough.
It took me a little bit to get on board, but now that I'm on, it's definitely my favorite show on television right now. I'd say easily.
yeah.
Mine too. There's nothing like. I think this show's a 10 out of 10.
Oh my God, there's nothing
It's the
like
best
it.
thing I've been watching
Easily.
these last 6 weeks.
Yeah,
It's
I'm excited to keep on rolling and what this season will end with. I mean, it's just
yeah.
kind
And when it ends, where it goes from there. Like
Yeah,
what
no.
happens next.
It's
But
gonna
you can't even start predicting what happens next season because you don't even know what's real in the show already.
Yeah,
So it's so stupid to make predictions about it. Like you can make some about the characters, like who the identity of the devil with the yellow eyes is,
It's
but
Farkas.
like that's really like as far as you can go
yeah.
because there's a billion questions to answer.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a ride every week, man.
It's so great. Yeah, I really can't wait to see where it goes.
Also, if you want to check out a really nice review, check out Anthony D'Elia's review on AwesomeSundayShow.com. It's
Yes.
Yes,
very
he did
well
it-
written.
Yes, he did an excellent review of the pilot. Got really in depth into it and really good. Find
check it out, guys.
Yeah, AwesomeSundayShow.com in the blog section.
Yeah.
But I think that this is the most unique comic book and superhero show on TV and in general categories too.
Yeah, I thought Doctor Strange, as far as like just any when it comes to just live action medium in general, whether it's television or movies, was unique in its way visually. But even though it was kind of standard in its storytelling, this movie is really visually unique and story wise unique as well. It's just a unique show. That's I think that's really the one. If you had to describe it in one word, that's what you would have to say is unique.
No, most definitely.
Yeah.
It'd be unique, insane, amazing are the three words I would describe.
Oh, easily, yeah. It's great.
Or astonishing.
Astonishing. What's it
You see what I did there?
For people who don't get it, it's because there was a series called The Astonishing X-Men
Yeah, I know.
for a long time.
Very long run.
It's a comic book joke.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get it.
Yeah,
You
I know,
wouldn't get it.
seriously. I'm gonna kill myself over there.
But
Yeah, it's great. Please watch it. I mean,
I think that, and I hope and I want and it deserves it to get nominated for several Emmys
oh my God, yes.
in every aspect of
and
the show.
FX isn't shy of that. I mean, I know Fargo won a bunch, right?
Fargo was nominated, won a bunch. So Golden Globes too was nominated for. I think that this show, for sure, the writing, the directing, even like the guest director or guest writer or whatever,
Yeah,
guest
definitely.
star, supporting, Dan Stevens definitely deserves a fucking Emmy, 100%.
Oh my God,
for
yeah.
how he's playing this character because it's so out there.
Mm-hmm. I think it's definitely one of those shows where I wouldn't be like, oh, this show could tank. Like it's just only going to go up from here.
No, see, and that's the worry I had from season 1 of Fargo, which was brilliant, to season 2. I'm like, there's no way you can. Well, first of all, I was like, there's no way you can take anything from Fargo the movie and make it into a good show and base it off that.
Yeah.
And I was completely wrong in the best way. And I'm like, all right, you can't top season 1 of Fargo. And then season 2 fucking topped it. And it was just like another 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And that's why, and it's because of Noah Hawley. And I fully believe that this season will end fantastically and it will just continue on fantastically.
I hope I hope it ends off with him being a lumberjack.
I would.
That would be great. Yeah, I would
You know
like
what?
that.
I would accept it for this show because it would fit into the theme. It's not like Dexter.
You really like the ending of Dexter, right?
Yeah, it's the greatest ending ever. No, that show is pure garbage. Yeah, I hate that show forever.
And now that you can read my blog about this, but the showrunner who ruined Dexter apparently also made a bomb of Iron Fist.
oh boy.
Um,
Allegedly, we don't know yet.
Allegedly.
Because
At least the first 4 to 6 episodes.
Yeah, it could end off amazing.
Which is what
We
I'm
don't
hoping
know.
for.
We'll see.
But Noah Hawley, like I said with Fargo, he's also directed a movie. He's written several books, and he's creating 3 more shows for FX. He's doing a limited series adaptation of Kurt Vonnegut's Cat's Cradle. He's creating Hellhound on His Trail, which is based off a novel, and The Hot Rock, also based on a novel. So he's in FX's pocket, and they're giving him free reign. And if he keeps putting out shit
Good.
like this and Fargo, man deserves it.
Cool. Good. I'm excited.
Yeah. This is it's just like another thing in the golden age of television, especially another
goddamn
thing in the
golden age.
mostly golden age of comic book series and show and like movies.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
know
right
this
up there.
I know this is the golden age of television, but I really think this is the golden age of comic book film in general. I mean,
Actually,
Oh, it
I
has
think
to
it's
be,
even
yeah.
Joss Whedon. I read this interview he did the other day about like the 20-year anniversary of Buffy. He called it the diamond age of television, which is I could see it, man. I could see it being even better than the golden age. Like this is
yeah.
we're getting some top shelf shit.
I think it might be overload. I mean, when you really think about it,
There's so
much good shit to
And
watch.
you can't watch it all. You're gonna
can't.
miss. Yeah, you're not gonna.
and the
But
beautiful.
goddamn it, I'm gonna try.
Oh no, you're gonna try, yeah. But I mean, that's the beautiful thing about where I think this is for another podcast, but where television's heading. Streaming and it's just
yeah.
it's so convenient
Oh,
and it's great. you
Yeah.
know?
Besides a plethora of channels that you have with your Xfinity
Already,
subscription, yeah, it's like or DirecTV subscription. You have Netflix, which literally is like, and Hulu and.
Amazon Video.
Amazon now.
Yeah, they're coming up,
Yeah,
man.
like,
Amazon Video's gonna
Amazon
come up.
Video is like gaining ground on Netflix. It was
Mm-hmm.
one of their projects won an 2 Academy Awards.
I know. It's crazy, man.
Manchester by the Sea, and like their original shows are lining up, starting to get really big too. Hulu's doing original stuff. I've watched one of them. I like it. It's cool. But they're starting to do more. They're getting Emmys and stuff nomination
Yeah.
for it too. And now like, Adult Swim is doing some streaming shows. Like streaming is the next wave, and the next Star Trek I believe is going to be streaming exclusive too, right?
Is it?
Yeah,
Next show
I believe so.
by CBS, I believe.
Okay.
But it's going forward, and like
Yeah.
it's great. And some show, Netflix has stepped up, but there's so many ways to easily access all the content that you're not able to watch every night or every week.
And it's great, man.
And it's
There's-
great, and
there's
it's
so much good
changing.
stuff.
It's changing how television is made too.
Yeah, it is. There's
sure.
rarely a show that I hear about that is such praise that when I watch it, I'm not like, why do people like this? That actually, I'm like,
For me, it's
I
The
love it.
Walking Dead.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying The Walking Dead's great by any means. It isn't.
No,
I'll
no,
be a
I know
hater on it.
There are people who blow so much smoke up.
I'm
his
just
ass.
saying though, man.
It's
like,
the greatest show ever.
no, dude, that is the biggest lie
Could've
that
been.
someone will tell you.
It could have
It
been.
could have been.
That pilot episode is one of the best pilots I've ever seen.
But I will say it's a show that gives but takes so much. And when you're this deep into something, you can't just give it up. I mean, I've gotten 7 seasons with this motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I said I was gonna stop Arrow after season 4,
exactly.
but I'm sucked into season 5.
is season
See?
5 bad?
Actually, it's much better than season 4.
See, that's what I mean.
It still hasn't
See?
returned
See
fully
what
to
you just
form.
did there?
Yeah,
See what you just did there? That's how Walking Dead is.
no.
It gives you a
But-
few good episodes, and then it takes so much from you. And then you're like, all right, well, maybe next week will be pretty good. And then it kind of is, and then the next week sucks. And then I just want, at this point, I want to see how they wrap it up, which they won't because it's going to go on until season 30. The way it's going
If they
now.
if they can keep it up like this with how good it is, they can make it as long as they want, dude.
They will, yeah. I would guess this is easily going to go into the high teens, this show.
Legion?
No. Walking Dead, easily.
Oh, I was talking about.
Oh, Legion?
Legion.
I hope Legion is a really nice little box.
Yeah, I don't want it to be long at all.
You know what I mean?
I want it.
That's what she said.
Top out. Maybe
I'd say 5 seasons the most.
5 seasons. I would go 6 or 7.
6 or 7, okay.
It depends because I mean
6 seasons I would be okay with too.
Yeah.
If they kept it like what next season would probably be like 12 episodes, you think, if that? Or you think they keep it 8?
I mean, they could keep it 8. They could, maybe do 10 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. But I'm a big fan of a show that really keeps things tight knit and smart, and every move is, not calculated, but they have a plan for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they did Breaking Bad, they knew how it was going to end. They had a beginning and they had an end, and all the stuff in the middle was very tightly compacted into this amazing 5-season series. And that's what I think Game of Thrones isn't lacking on that right now, but it's realizing that, I think. And what was the rumor on that? They want to end it like 2-3 seasons, right? Or something like that.
This is gonna be the second to last season. The
That's
one's
what I
coming out in
mean.
July,
So-
and the season it's 7 episodes, and then the last season is 6 episodes.
Mhm. So I think keeping things kind of short and compacted is smart on a lot of levels. With this show, I mean, I don't know. At the moment, I'd watch 100 of them right now. You know what I mean?
And you know what? FX and FXX, it's sister channel, is
Yeah.
just killing it right now.
Mhm. I don't get it, which is a bummer.
They
but-
have for like the last several years, like with their original stuff. I mean, Sons of Anarchy was huge.
Yeah.
The Shield was on it. Nip Tuck. Let's see. Justified was apparently amazing.
My
Unfortunately, I
dad.
Did
didn't
your
get to
dad
ever
watch
see it.
that?
My
Yeah,
dad
your
watched
dad loved that
every
shit.
episode of Justified.
Yeah, I remember he would tell me that every time I come over, he'd be like, "You watched it Justified?"
Yeah.
I'd always disappoint him.
Louis Baskets, which apparently is excellent.
I really want some
Atlanta,
Baskets.
I fucking
Atlanta,
which
yeah.
just won a bunch of awards.
Louis is one of like the best shows I've ever seen.
Oh my
And-
God, easily.
And it's one of my favorite episodes of any television show ever is when he's defending masturbation.
That's
Oh,
an
that
excellent
one's
episode.
fantastic.
It is amazing. Is that this? And I'm getting confused right now. I think that's the same episode. No, it's a different episode where the girl's in the elevator. She's like, I have this bag of dicks.
No, it's the same episode.
No, it's the same episode.
Yeah, it is
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Same episode.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. And then the Chinese guy in the corner.
Yeah.
That's not gonna fit.
dude.
And then whether you love it or hate it, American Horror Story, The Americans, which is one of the most
American Horror
well-received
Story. Ugh.
shows on television. American
I
Crime
could do a
Story.
whole podcast on why I hate American Horror Story.
Thank you. See,
I fucking hate that show.
people who love America, and I don't want to generalize because there's people that I know that love that show that know good televisions, but like the people that are like, oh my God, American Horror Story, like it's so good. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, you don't know good horror.
No.
You really don't.
Well, it's not even
Like,
horror, really.
it's-
Like the first 2 seasons
Again,
were,
I shouldn't say you don't
but
know
since
good
then
horror,
it's more
but
just like
Yeah.
creepy.
like
I feel
Ish,
a
or
good
trying to be.
podcast about this.
yeah, that show sucks. The first
Yeah,
season was
okay.
all right.
First season was great.
yeah, but
Let me name some more shows. American Crime Story, which just did the People vs. O.J. Simpson. They got another one coming out next year. Taboo,
Hell yeah.
which just finished out. Feud, which just started, which is getting really good reviews. Always Sunny was on it. Archer, You're the Worst, which is excellent. Man Seeking Woman. They had Wilfred, The League.
Wilfred was good. I mean,
yeah, it was sad what happened with that show.
the last season I didn't like that much.
Yeah,
so.
I didn't either.
Yeah,
Well, they rushed it. That's why.
yeah.
Which was a bummer.
But I didn't know this until after the show that they got the same actor to play Wilfred, and that was in the
Well,
Australia.
he's
yeah.
the guy who created the show.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
I
You
didn't
learn
know
something
that.
new every day.
Yeah, but FX is killing it, and they're reaping the rewards.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
And you know what? We're happy.
It's a pelican.
Well, yeah, I can't wait to see where the show goes, and yeah, it's fantastic. So
Yeah.
that's all I gotta say about it.
For the first 3 episodes out of 10, what would you grade the 3 episodes? You don't grade them individually, just
As a whole,
As a whole,
all 3 as a whole.
It's hard to say because I watched all 3 of them now. I would say 9.5.
I'd say the same.
Mhm.
Yeah, I want to give it a final consensus when the season's over,
Yeah.
but I would say it's a strong 9, a very strong 9.
I'm giving it a 10,
Yeah,
and it helps that I have a boner for Noah Hawley's work.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, the show's phenomenal. And I'm
Yeah.
assuming if you're listening to this, we should have said spoilers at the beginning, but I hope you have watched.
Just put in the
up to
title
it.
spoilers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please watch
I'll just-
it before
yeah.
you see it.
For a spoiler-free review.
Yeah.
Going on since the show.
Yeah.
All right.
But yes, we're going to close it out. Thank you, Cass, for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys very much.
Thank you, Gamefly, for sponsoring this episode. Remember to go to gameflyoffer.com to receive GameFlyOffer.com/awesome to receive a free premium 30-day trial. And Connor.
Also, thank you, Vinyl Me Please, for sponsoring this episode. Remember, if you want to join the Best Damn Record of the Month Club, go to www.joinvmp.com/awesome.
All right, guys, take it easy. Peace.